Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. CWL Sydney Open 1, presented by PlayStation 4. It has been an absolute scream so far, but boy, have we got a treat for you up next. Joining me on the desk, the resplendent Joshua in Maniac, and of course, Kyle Vilesider, who has been providing some of the most spectacular analysis all weekend long. Guys, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I'm very excited to be back on the desk with, one of the premier players in the region, now turned caster, Kyle. We've been on the desk before. I was in the host role, but mate, you're doing great in the analysis role, and thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, I'm doing great, Miles. Yourself, Kyle?
Man, I'm doing brilliant. This game coming up, though, this is what I'm here for. I'm very keen to see how these two players play out.
We're pumped for it.
Oh my good God. I mean, well, a little bit of background. Let's get it's story time.
Here we go.
It's
I love some Miles story time.
It's story time with Miles. So, way back in 1686, I'm just joking. Well, basically, the Chiefs, everyone knows the Chiefs. They went to MLG Atlanta. They somewhat underperformed. They didn't do great. They felt like a change was needed. Flash forward to, a couple of days later, and we get a little bit of juicy intel that maybe Hopi was being dropped. Hopi was, in fact, dropped from the Chiefs. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's impossible. Hopi can't be dropped from the Chiefs. He's been with the Chiefs forever. When you think of Chiefs, you think of Hopi. Well, those days are gone. Eminence took the spot, and happily, Chiefs have been flying high ever since off the back of a 2K win. But this match, ladies and germs, is the one to watch. Prodigy eSports versus the Chiefs. What more can we ask for? It's the revenge story. Or is it a kind of, I don't know, what's the opposite of a revenge story? It's all going to happen here, though, boys. I mean, look, what do you think about this one?
Well, personally, I think, this is a huge opportunity for Hopi to really show his mettle, and I think that he's the one who really wants to prove, he said it in that post-game interview at the end of the last series, that he really wants to show Chiefs what they're missing. Conversely, obviously, Reef from that's Eminence, now on the Chiefs who replaced Hopi, just wants to show, well, Hopi, we're about to show you why you were dropped, friend.
Yeah, I know. I've actually got a little bit of inside gossip.
Oh,
from
here
the
we
guys.
go.
Here we go. So I spoke to the Chiefs guys, and funnily enough, they're actually joking about dropping Hopi for Eminence beforehand, and just sort of all just jostling each other, just stirring each other up, and it actually happened. I don't think Hopi's too pleased about that. He's gotten pretty salty. Sort of a friendly little bit of banter happening when the guys met up yesterday. Pretty amusing to watch them, and got a little bit of a perspective from Hopi's pov as well. Basically, he sort of disagreed with the team's playstyle, and they had sort of a few arguments over how they should be playing. He wanted to play more aggressively, and I think we've seen that out of Hopi this weekend. He's done some serious numbers.
Look, when there's trouble in paradise, sometimes you've got to ruffle the feathers of that beautiful exotic bird. And we'll deal with that. Let's have a quick look at the Chiefs and see what that lineup looks like now. I mean, you know them at home, really, but if we go through them with a fine-tooth comb, we've got Dean, Eminence, Chief Reef, the latest addition to the squad, Fate, and Lakey. Now, guys, the Chiefs have been around for a really long time, but the changes made, it seems to have been paying off for them. Have you guys got any thoughts there on where the Chiefs can go from here, or how these playstyles have been helping them?
I'm interested to see how this goes out, because I know I've followed Dean play for a very long time now, back from Advanced Warfare. I'm very impressed with how he plays. Sort of the strong, silent type. Probably a bit like your Callum Swanee from the EU. Pretty impressed by him. I've followed Eminence probably since Black Ops 2. I think I sort of found him just sort of playing, and we played some scrims together, and he filled in for us, and basically just watched him develop from an amateur into the pro scene and traveling internationally. It's really impressive.
I've never seen someone with as much drive as Eminence. He set out to be a pro when he wasn't. He made himself become one. He's the kind of person that really shows that dedication and hard work really pay off. And, it's that old argument, right, about natural talent versus dedication. When you combine them both, you get Eminence.
It's a beautiful combo and a cocktail I certainly would like to have a sip of. The Eminence. It could be pink with a flower in the top. Oh, that sounds great. Let's have a quick look at their opponents who they'll be going up against in this game. Prodigy eSports will be in the blue corner of the stage. Gydra, Hopi, Killerpie, and Scrism. 3 players there who really don't need an introduction, but you guys tell me a little bit about Scrism. He's not been around forever, has he?
I can't believe the guy's only 18. Going by that, he looks like he's done time, but no, joking, of course. He just looks like he's weathered by some such intense Call of Duty action. When they took these photos, it just shows they came ready to really duke it out.
Mate, that weathering is actually from 2 years of being underage and basically just like bantering on Twitter about how much better he is than all the 18+ players.
You know that
perfect.
meme of that guy holding it in with the veiny red-faced guy? That was him. counting down the clock for his birthday when he turned 18.
He only turned 18 like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
wow.
It's actually crazy.
But that's
and
perfect.
here he is. I know, right?
It's perfect because you could have actually planned this entire event around the fact that, don't worry, I'm going to be 18 by the time it comes out. I mean, I don't know the logistics. Could you buy the ticket with the full knowledge that, like, you're not 18, but you're going to be 18 by the time the event rolls around? Oh, man, the perils of being underage. Really. I haven't had those perils for about 20 years now. Really. I know.
Is that all,
I know what you're
Miles?
thinking.
Is that all?
Nice. I'm an old ass man. Oh, guys. Well, look, both teams have got them lined up. Any sort of takeaways from how you've seen them play today? Of course, we saw Prodigy. They've been on stage all day. They've been hogging it, quite frankly. We saw them up against Tainted Minds. We saw them just take down Unveil Nova. Hope you got a Warden. Have you guys got any sort of takeaways from how you've seen them playing today?
Yeah, definitely. I saw a little bit of Chiefs out in the other room. They played pretty well, but it was a little bit of a tight series early on against Validate Red on Hardpoint Throwback. But it looks like their late game sort of paid off for them, and that's something that I know that Prodigy sort of struggles at.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them fall apart in their earlier series, you know, up against Tainted Minds, and that started very early with that Hardpoint where they were ahead by 100 points, and then towards the end, Tainted Minds ended up coming steamrolling home. So Prodigy, if they can keep it together, keep their emotions in check, I think they've got a really good shot. And when I say emotions in check, you could almost say it's quite the opposite for Hopi in this particular scenario.
Oh, definitely.
Going up against Cheese, I'm expecting them to go Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan, maybe. I mean, Hopi, he's not got too much hair, so what does it do? Does his eyebrows just go gold? What happens? I don't know. I'm not a Dragon Ball Z-ologist, but, you know, maybe this is the case. Look, I'm being unfair to Hopi. If you want a donation, I've got plenty. I'm telling you, man, I've got a lot of it. Guys, let's have a quick look at the series overview and see what maps these teams were playing against. This is the championship bracket round 1, guys. We've made it that far. Pools are over. We have our winners and our losers bracket lined up, and this is where we sit. Up next, lo and behold, it's going to be a Scorch Hardpoint. Following that, we've got Throwback, Search and Destroy, which frankly is always good to watch. Frost Uplink will be game 3 should we need it. And then after that, guys, I mean, let's face it, we haven't seen too many games 4 or 5 thus far in the series, but in the entire competition so far. But how do you feel about these two teams going up against each other?
You know, it's a bit of an unknown now with Scorch in the mix. Obviously, we had a few issues with this map, but now we're going to be getting underway on it. I'm just pumped to see how they both play on this one. Overall, looking at that, it's going to be a throwback S&D, which we've seen a few times today, then a Frost Uplink. I think, obviously, the first map's going to really define the pace of this series and how they both teams may progress.
Yeah, definitely, Josh. I think this is going to be a pretty interesting map. This is the first time we've really seen this map this weekend. I honestly think both teams are going to be pretty evenly matched. They've got pretty good aggression. They've got pretty good solid AR players. So I think this is going to be fun to see.
Guys, with Search and Destroy on the horizon, I mean, we've seen how these guys play this one out. You know what? I'm going to let you guys take this one away from us. Take us into this game, guys. Hardpoint was going to be the very first game here on Scorch. It's Prodigy versus the Chiefs. It's a grudge match if ever I've seen one.
I am absolutely pumped, Miles. Thank you very much. Prodigy versus Chiefs. What a way, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off the championship bracket here of CWL Sydney Open 1, presented by PS4, and with thanks to Astro and ViewSonic. Scorch Hardpoint up first. Our first time, Kyle, seeing this map in the rotation for this competition. What, in your eyes, do you think can we expect from this? And have you seen these guys scrim this map?
No, I haven't actually seen both of these rosters scrim this map just yet, so I think this could be pretty tight. I know a lot of the rotations can be pretty important here. I'd like to see, hopefully, Prodigy not sort of committing too late to a lot of scrap time, even though it can sort of work out a little bit here on this map. So I really will be looking towards seeing them rotate nice and early, getting things locked down for the maximum amount of points they could possibly gain off of each hardpoint.
Now, we've obviously hyped up Hopi so much, but we need to look at the broader roster as well. You know, Scrism, Gydra, Killerpie, all of these guys with so much experience.
Definitely.
And those names, you know, especially Gydra and Killerpie, a wealth of knowledge of not only this game, but just competitive COD in general. All of that experience that came from the Call of Duty World League 2016 in both Stage 1 and Stage 2 is going to be invaluable in this competition.
Yeah, definitely. I think Gydra and Killerpie have spent a fair bit of time sort of on and off with each other. I know they've both come up pretty clutch in a lot of the respawns, and as well as the S&Ds. I mean, Killerpie's scope has been pretty flawless. Gydra's been coming up clutch just about every single time with that payload. I think there's only been really 1 or 2 times where he's been really let down by camo. I'd like to see what he can pull off here on this map. Should be pretty easy for him to pull up some clutch plays, sort of sneaking through a lot of the harder, smaller doorways through this map.
Let's see these guys getting away. That's Lakey on your screen right now, and he is laser focused. Both teams there, smiles yet concentrated. We've got the hat inside by a couple of the boys over there on Prodigy. You know, just keeping it calm, relaxed, and I think we're going to be seeing some very intense hardpoint action. Guys at home, and especially here in the studio, I want to hear what you're thinking about Prodigy versus Chiefs. We're getting hyped. The championship bracket of CWL Sydney Open 1 is underway, and we're kicking it off with the new addition here to the Chiefs. It's Chief Reef. We've got Eminence. He's throwing that nade straight out, and he's going to be trying to get control initially off the start, and he picks up the two-piece, one of them on Hopi to kick off this hardpoint match.
Eminence playing pretty flawlessly there. Looks like the team of Prodigy all opted to just push out a top lab. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that much of a stack. They pretty much just fed Reef pretty easily there.
There goes Hopi down once again as well. 0-2 to kick things off here. His teammate Guider is going to be in here trying to slay out a few shaky shots, but he ends up picking up the kill, and he's going to be just holding down the middle hard point at the start of this Scorch hard point. Now he's got his team coming in as well. That's actually Hopi in there with him. He was full red, taking a bit of damage, and he goes down once again. Slow start for Hopi. Look for him to pick up later as Prodigy have now got the lead, but only just. I want to jump over to Scrism as he's off spawn. Going to try and get that kill, and indeed he does, but he also takes down Killerpie, his teammate, along the way. Makes up for it by taking down Fate as well, and that's going to be a nice little lead at the start here for Prodigy.
Yeah, Chiefs did a really excellent job of maintaining spawns throughout that hardpoint. I think Prodigy probably should have committed someone to potentially get a bit of a flank on. I know I was speaking to Excite earlier, and he's kind of disappointed that no one's really pinching. You can send 3 people to a hardpoint and have that one last person pinch around and sort of just flip spawns out. I'd like to see that a little bit more from Prodigy here.
Well, here's what we're seeing, exactly what you just said. They're all just coming down that one lane, and Lakey's just going to be able to hold it down. He's got the backup of Fate as well. The player flying gracefully through the air, though, is going to be taken down. Killer Pie is now going to be moving in. Scrism now on the point. Scrism picked up one with that shockwave.
Yeah,
he's taken down. Chiefs now in control of this hard point once again, and 47 points in climbing. Challenged right here. Lots of shots out, but still contested. Eminence goes down, which leaves Lakey and Dean alive. Dean's in there, hotly contested, staying alive, and he picks up 2. He just destroyed.
Get that 4-piece, boy.
Whoa.
If he got that last kill off the head glitch, that would have been a bloody play of the weekend, mate. That was incredible.
That was insane. Beautiful stuff here. 5 seconds for the rotation, and they're currently battling for it here. Let's check it out. Fate going to be down in the boulders, and Lakey's inside. He's secured the position as the rotations happen. Now, obviously vital for Chiefs to maintain control of this map, to hold inside here. Shots ringing out. Fate picks up Scrism, so that's some nice work there, and he's on a 2-kill streak, but so is Hopi. Hopefully, heating up here in this hard point. Fate goes down. Lakey's going to get some nades coming in for him as Prodigy try to push in, but as you can see there, Kyle, 3 players taken down.
Yeah, that was pretty rough from Prodigy there. They did do the pinch, which was necessary around that rock side to come in the side of Hangar, but it doesn't really work if there's only 2 of you versing the entire other team of Chiefs. They need to wait for each other. They're only 40 points down. I mean, this could be way closer if they're waiting a little bit more.
20 seconds left in this hard point, and it has been completely dominated by the Chiefs. Now, Prodigy with some signs of life. Killerpie picks up a kill before he's dropped immediately as well. Hopi pushing in, trying to bring the cavalry, but with 9 seconds until the rotation, they're going to be setting up for this one. Hopi's going to be stunned up, pushing back. Guydra's going to be hopefully trying to back him up as well. Let's go back over to Hopi's point of view as he secures the hard point over at Drill. Gets some shots ringing out towards from that wall run, and now he's going to be taken down. Killerpie as well now on the other opposing wall run. Nades ringing out, and here we go. Picks up one. Dean and Fate got another for their team, though. Conversely, Killerpie now pushing into this hard point. Lots of nades. 3 members of Chiefs are in here. Lakey, Eminence, who just went down, and Dean. Now Lakey and Fate holding it down on their own. Wow, and Lakey, what a job. 2 shots out. Fate and Lakey, the wombo combo for Chiefs, locking it down solely on their own.
Absolutely flawless play there. There was a great break. It looked like Prodigy managed to rotate early to that hard point, but it just didn't matter. Chiefs just walked in, got 2 pieces, and cleaned everyone up.
Look at Eminence now wrapping around the back. He's going for the pinch. I think he's a little bit of a gypsy. Must have heard you because he goes for it, but he's actually going to be turned to Gydra. Huge 2-piece right there, and now he's going to be moving out as well for this rotation. Gydra, that's exactly what we need, but as we can see, Kyle, it's quite the deficit here behind the Chiefs.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the kills coming in from Chiefs are mainly just on Hardpoint. Like, look at Dean's stats. He's 14 and 7, and he's got some of the most hill time in the game. They're playing really well on these rotations and just picking up the kills where they matter in hill and just letting Dean just sit on head glitches just like this.
Dean, 14 and 7, the 2.0 KD looking good, but look who's coming behind. It's Killer Pie.
Four down.
Killer Pie picks up 2 Scrism as well. Great stuff, and as you just said, Kyle, all of the Chiefs were taken out. The spawns were actually pretty favorable for Chiefs, so they're going to be able to collapse in on this hard point. But, you know, I mean, we're about halfway through it, so they need to start focusing ahead as well, as all of Prodigy were just cleaned out and left. Killer Pie is the only one alive, and Chiefs, again, racking up all of the points as they hit the 160 mark and are going to be more than twice the score of their opposition.
Yeah, Prodigy are playing nice and defensive here. They have set up for this rotation, and they really aren't pushing into that scrap, which was a huge sort of flaw they made in their earlier game against TM. It's something I sort of called them out for, so I'm glad they've learned from their mistakes, and they're rotating nice and early. But still, again, they've just let one of their players just basically spawn out. I'm a little bit frustrated by that. They know that that shouldn't be happening, and at least you should be pushing back down and pinching the other team out, because Chiefs are just going to have numbers here on the bottom of the map, and they're going to start flipping Prodigy across the map. And you can see that's already happening. Second player there, Gydra, has already been flipped out to Lab, but it's not going to matter because they pick up the frags and they manage to maintain control of the hard point.
There was actually a really nice flank there by Hopi. You know, there was a couple of mistakes by both teams, but in the end, Prodigy was able to hold on with a whole lot of time still in this hard point. It's worth fighting for, but then nades raining in. Prodigy challenged hard, but all 4 players from Chiefs were down. They're going to be getting those rock spawns over on that opposing side of the map with 23 seconds left. What's the decision-making coming out of Chiefs right now? It looks like they're setting up for this rotation.
Yeah, already. There was 25 seconds left, and they were just leaving one person on hill. That's a pretty good play there. It's really smart that they did that, because Chiefs had actually started rotating for the new hard point. So they made the perfect decision at the perfect time, and it's going to allow them to pretty much get an easy 25 points off that. Gydra's literally had to do nothing but sit in a corner.
Scrism rotated very early for Prodigy as well to try and maintain control, but he was cleaned out, so was Gydra. So we're going to be seeing him try and push in here through the ledge. Now, he might actually go in from the bottom, as is a usual approach, checking corners. He's going to be waiting for his team to back him up. Hope he's going to be going along Cat. He gets the nade, follows it up with a beautiful two-piece. Killer Pie backing him up as well. Fate fighting, but yeah, the flip's in there, and Prodigy are actually in a great position, and this could be the start of some kind of comeback, but Chiefs stacking up in this entrance.
No, Hope absolutely had to pick up that kill there. He did a great job of breaking that hill and sort of just forcing the spawns out a little bit. Oh my god, is that a 4 down again?
That was another 4 down. Kyle, so many times we've seen Chiefs get 4 down, and it's really punishing them now. Prodigy have just got basically been given a free walk to catch up in this hard point.
Yeah, pretty much Chiefs just got spawn trapped while maintaining the better spawns by 2 players from Prodigy. That was awesome. Good plays from them. I think this is going to start to get a little bit closer right now as we finish in the last 3.5 minutes of this game.
Going over to Drill shortly. Lakey, I want to watch him as he's going to be moving out towards this Drill hard point. He's got one player challenging him. He's got the numbers though. Fate and Dean both pick it up, and Lakey's going to be in here as well. So let's have a quick look. Actually, Lakey just pushed out, picked up a kill before being traded out. Dean's looking for more as well, as he just saw his teammate go down. Hopi and then Fate both traded out. Eminence picking up another kill right here as Chiefs hit the 200 mark. Prodigy under a lot of pressure now, as there's only 40 seconds left for the Chiefs required to take out the win.
I mean, look at those KDs right now. Across the board, things are pretty similar, minus Lakey there, and a little bit of an 11 and 17 deficit, but he has been sort of the hill player, playing a little bit passively. So we're going to start to see payloads come online for both teams pretty much at the same time. Killer Pie's going to have his FTL, and Gydra's going to be very close to that camo that we know he's been absolutely clutch with this entire weekend.
Indeed he has. Scrism, Killer Pie both teaming up to hold down the remaining points of Drill, but obviously it's about the setting up for the rotation towards mid. You can see Dean in the top side of the map and the spawner, which is going to be Eminence, coming out to try and get control. We'll go over to Dean, as we just saw a nice kill come out. Lakey picked up Hobie. 3 players down for Chiefs. Once again, it's up to Fate to challenge his hard point, and he does secure it. Picks up Scrism in the process. Contested, picks up another. What a great push there by the Chiefs. Prodigy doing their best to fight it out, and indeed they are, and are holding on to the points here in this mid hard point.
They got a really important kill on Scrism there, pushing him back because he has that reactive armor, and this can pretty much hold them the hill. Looks like he may have popped it here. Yes, he has, but it's just going to get broken down and deleted by Eminence, who picks up another 2-piece as well.
Great stuff there by Eminence. Even up against the payload, he was able just to mow it down with the support of his teammates, and you can see such a hectic hard point right here. Prodigy looking to hit the 200 mark, and they will. Killer by Hopi, Scrism, all teaming up to get the kills. Last player, they clean it out. Those all 4 players, the Chiefs taking it out. We've still got 15 seconds left here on the bridge hard point, and we're going to be rotating, and this is going to be absolutely vital for both teams.
Josh, those kills right then and there were probably some of the most important kills in the entire game, because it's basically maintained Prodigy 4 spawns rotating to this this turbine hardpoint. So it's pretty much going to set them up. Though we see Camo coming out from Eminence, he's going to sneak in, needs to clear out this head glitch, and he gets a nice free kill on the player in the back there. If he picks up this 2-piece, this will be absolutely huge.
He needs it, and he gets it. Eminence, beautiful work there to break that. That was going to be vital, and he follows it up with the assist as well. Prodigy, they're spawning cross-map. They need to get over here as soon as they can. Scrism on the wall run. He's pushing in as Chiefs hit 230. 20 seconds required. Let's look at it from the defender's point of view. Lakey on the head glitch. Fate's in here with him. This should be a very strong defense coming out of the Chiefs if they're ready for it. 25 seconds, and Chiefs only need 8. It's the last few seconds. Gydra, he's popped his camo. He's coming in to clear it out. Picks up 1. That's the assist there. Great trades coming out from this team. Nade as well. Not only do they need to secure this,
that's
though.
4 down.
All 4
this
down.
Is 10 seconds. They absolutely have to rotate. Look at Killpie right now. He's number 4 on the top of your screen. He's pretty much going to be the one that has to clinch out this game. If he doesn't get these kills here, this is Chiefs are going to win, basically, right now.
Scrism's over here. He's challenging and waiting for it. He was instantly cleared out. Eminence is holding it down. Clears out. And Hopi's coming in. Hopi, he's on the 3.
Yes,
4 kill streak. Hopi, what a monster. Absolutely cleaned it out.
In the back. They're spawned in the back. This is a huge fight now. Eminence and Dean both pick up the early frags. And a nade comes out from Dean. It's all on Scrism here.
Lakey, last one here for Chiefs. He's pushing in along the cat. Let's see if he can pick up the kills. He's slayed out as well. Scrism on the 4 kill streak. We're heading towards 240, and he's trying to hold it down. Challenged here by the Chiefs. Fates instantly dropped. Hopi and Gydra in here. Hopi's still alive.
Come on,
he's
Hopi.
got a 2 kill streak.
Win this game, mate.
Again, picks it up again. 3 kills in a row. Going
Lakey.
down to the last few seconds here.
They can
Prodigy,
They're going to take
turn it around.
Yes, Josh. What a huge game.
250 to 247. The exact same thing that happened to Prodigy against Tainted Minds. They flipped the script. They flipped the table like I'm about to do as well. And Chiefs go down by a mere 3 points.
Oh my God. Well, we wanted the revenge story. That was chapter 1, and I'm not putting this book down anytime soon. Good God. What a way to start the series. Hardpoint, Scorch. Whew, I am covered in goosebumps. Like I almost fell over at the end of that game. Guys, what a phenomenal way to start this one. And it's getting a little too hot on the stage there as Hopi has obviously got choice words for his former teammates. But so far, so good. If you're in Camp Hopi, you know, sometimes when you get the divorce or, you know, you break up from your girlfriend and you have 2 sets of friends, you know, you team Hopi or you team Chiefs. Let's see how this one pans out. Guys, let's just go through that real quick. There's a couple of big takeaways from that one, but, you know, let's break it down slow. There was a lot to take in, frankly.
Look, I just think I need a moment. I hit my precipice, and I just, you know, I'm in the refractory period right now, Miles.
I mean, we saw the game open up with 2 pieces of plenty. You know, Eminence was playing out of his mind. 2 pieces of plenty for him. Dean was going insane. Where did it change for the Chiefs?
There was 2 pieces coming out left and right. You're asking where it changed? Well, they went the 2-piece, they went the 3-piece, they got the whole bucket, and they put it on the Chiefs' head.
That's a family bucket if ever you've seen one. Here's a couple of highlights from that one. Eminence's 2 pieces, as mentioned. I mean, really, another thing that struck me as very interesting about this game was the management of payloads. I mean, we saw a very clutch play from Gydra. Were there any other big payload plays that came into play for you guys? You talked a little bit about Scrism. I mean, where were the mistakes and the sort of big wins, the major value being won from those payloads?
I think one of them, Kyle, would have to be the Chiefs, how they utilized the active camo on that second last hard point. Completely broke it. They got within, what, about 10 seconds of winning, and it was all thanks to that huge camo play, great teamwork, but somehow, with Prodigy hiding behind that little piece of the map there where the head glitch is, they held on against the camo, against nades, and they actually got that and then also clutched the rotation. But I think there were also more camo players.
Yeah, definitely. Looking back on how Gydra played that map, it sort of popped camo. It wasn't quite as flawless as it could have been. They sort of He used it instead of sort of contesting the players up on that head glitch. He used it to sort of solidify a kill that would have allowed his teammates to push into that hard point, which he did. And it was the right play at the right time. So he sort of burned Camo a little bit, but he did the right thing, and he got contest early onto that hill.
Another thing to discuss quickly was the mistakes made by both teams, and we saw a couple of misplays here and there. A couple of toes were stepped on. Not too many, friendly fire incidents, but it felt like Prodigy, they were just better at capitalizing on those mistakes made. They seem to be on the winning end of all those bad things.
Yeah, definitely. They got some nice rotations from that middle hill to Turbine. They sort of messed it up early game, but they actually cleaned up their late game, which is something I've been talking about a fair amount here. So they maintained spawns, but then they lost them to Camo, which was kind of frustrating, but they then managed to just re-break it with Camo of their own, which is very impressive, honestly.
Now, Josh, the climax of that game, it all happened there in the final hard point. I mean, really, from the kills happening on your screen here, what the hell happened, man?
I have no idea. I'm just glad you can only see me from the waist up, because what a game it was. I think in the end, it was just the pressure, and that last rotation got to the Chiefs. To be honest, I really must say it was their game to give away, and they really tied a bow on it for Chiefs at the end. But it must be said, Scrism and Hopi had some of the best performances of their career at the end of that hard point.
Much more can be said. I mean, that's just an all-star performance from the two lads on your screen there. Hopi on the right-hand side, that's Scrism on the left. Both got to be feeling very, very good after winning a game like that. Now, of course, that's chapter 1 in the books, but the next match coming up is going to be an S&D on Throwback. Quite a different affair altogether, guys. Now, for those of you just joining us, you've missed a stunning first game. This is an extremely exciting series to be catching us on. It is the Chiefs versus Prodigy, and there's a little bit of bad blood between these two, so there's quite the grudge match happening. Guys, S&D coming up next. It is an entirely different game type altogether. That fast, furious, very frantic gameplay we just saw on Scorch Hardpoint. I mean, how different is Throwback going to be in comparison?
Well, it's going to be a little bit slow because obviously it's S&D, so I'd like to see a nice slow breakout and then maybe just pick up the pace sort of maybe midway through the game as they start to do some more aggression through middle. I mean, I keep coming back to E United and their aggression on Throwback, and I think that can definitely work here, especially with Hopi just outslaying. He went 32 and 26 that last map. No one on the team of Chiefs could even match that. I think they were barely positive, honestly. So if Hopi wants to keep being aggressive, then I say go for it.
I think that works as well. He needs to watch himself in the S&D though, because their last big match on the main stage, and they were in similar scenario. They didn't actually win the first round against Tatum Mines, but they also lost the S&D. Now they were able to clutch up in the Uplink, so I'm kind of feeling, potentially we're up against a different roster here, but if they can get an S&D here, they have a very real chance of taking out the Uplink as well. But do not underestimate the team of Chiefs, because they are some beasts there as well.
Hope you're dropping 30 bombs. That is the ratio of man who has just been dropped. Incredibly exciting series so far, guys. The rig draft is underway. S&D will be our next game, and boy, will it be a screamer.
It's going to be absolutely amazing, and we're getting into it right now with the rig draft. Nothing really standing out of the ordinary. You got the typical stuff, your active camo, reactive armor, Centurion, and the faster than light jump. Look, Kyle, getting into this one, Throwback, Search and Destroy. I've got the adrenaline running through my veins. This can go either way. It's kind of a cliche to say that, but I don't feel like I've ever told a truer truth.
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, look at that last match. It looked like it was a Chiefs game from the start, but I mean, it went back and forth right at the end, and Prodigy was able to clean up, and I think they can honestly do the same here again. I really think that the whole difference here is going to be Killerpie's scope. He sort of warmed up across the weekend. He's sort of hit more shots as we've come along. I think if he can heat up, I'm not sure if anyone from Chiefs is going to scope back in return, but if Killerpie can get some early picks, I think that really may throw Chiefs' game off and tilt them.
Potentially, and we've also seen that go very downhill very, very quickly, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that. Ladies and gentlemen, the CWL Sydney Open 1 presented by PS4 is a gift that keeps on giving, and I can't believe we've got another one coming up in 2 months. It's going to be awesome stuff. Make sure you check out all the details on that as well, and thank you very much for tuning in live on mlg.tv/COD. Remember, guys, you can join the fun. You can be competing here. Make sure you get your Game Battles account as well, and then come along and play. I tell you what, though, make sure you bring your A game if you plan on coming up against these fellas. Chiefs versus Prodigy, 250 to 247, and it was an amazing comeback. I really feel good for Prodigy as well. After that series they had against Tender Mines and they basically gifted the Hardpoint, I'm glad they can have some kind of redemption there as well, Carl.
Yeah, looking back on that series actually versus TM, that was a 250 to 244. So that's so close. That's 3 points. It's insane.
This is going to be a very tight search and destroy. I'm feeling it as well. Will it go to a round 11 or would we see a whitewash? I don't know how Chiefs are feeling after losing against, look, the team that has the player that they dropped. We shall see. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 2 here. It is winners bracket round 1. We're in the championship bracket, baby, here at CWL Sydney Open 1. Let's get into it, and we're going to be kicking things off here with, let's go over to the attacking squad as we do. It's Scrism running the OBJ, and you're already going to have one player on the far side just outside of food court, and let's have a look at how Gydra going to be playing this.
This is exactly what we need. He's playing this map pretty much perfectly. By taking this ground, he sort of splices Chiefs sort of set up in half. So anyone that pushes up, he should be able to get a free trade here as long as he doesn't get flanked. So that should be pretty sneaky. I like the look of it. And that bomb should be going down hopefully sometime soon, but Eminence managed to put down bomb carrier just then and there.
Killer Pie's going to be moving out, and you can see he's going to be stunned up as well. Hope he's getting some shots ringing out in the middle. Gydra takes out Eminence. Lakey on Hopey as well. Now these shots are coming out. Lakey actually picked up 2, which leaves Killer Pie all alone for Prodigy. 1v3. We've already seen scenarios like this. 1 against the odds today. Can Killer Pie do the same? He does have bombs, so he's got that advantage. Shots ringing out. They're going to know exactly where he is, and he just swallows those bullets. He really took them ones like a chump, but unfortunately, 1v3, there wasn't much he could do in that scenario.
He had really, really poor ground. I think he made the right decision by going up top here, but I mean, he basically just puts himself in a situation where he has literally no cover whatsoever, and they can just sort of jump out and contest him as they feel like it, and just lock him in there. I mean, he has bomb, but he's got to plan it. It doesn't really matter.
Prodigy, let's see what they can do on the comeback. Now, Chiefs, I think this is going to be a very, very, well, look, a very hard one for Prodigy to come back from. I really can't pick up Kyle because, wow, actually, there we go. We got 2 down already, traded out for Fate, though. Killer Pie and Scrism left against the 3 players on Chiefs, and a bomb already planted today.
I mean, if you're going to be aggressive in middle, you actually have to push it. And if you're going to be defending A, you actually have to defend it. They sent no one to A, didn't aggress middle hard enough to really stop the other team. That's pretty questionable in all honesty.
Shots ringing out from Tickets. That's going to be Eminence up there. You've got Killer Pie and Scrism both coming in. Killer Pie, he did challenge that, and he does pick up the kill there. Killer Pie drops Eminence. There we go,
1v1.
forcing the 1v1. Scrism versus Dean. Kyle, we're watching the movement right now. Both players need to be very careful. Scrism might catch him. He does get the shots out. Trying to get the wall bang. Doesn't quite get it. Needs the reload. This is intense. Can he get it? 1v1. He actually gets turned on there after all that damage. Whoa. That was a bit of a turnaround.
That was honestly a good, solid veteran play from Dean there. He knows the fence is wall bangable, so he just drops prone, sits behind the bricks, and forces the other player of Scrism to basically have to contest him. And Scrism second-guessed himself. He didn't push that. You don't have a choice in that sort of situation. And that's where the experience and the knowledge that comes in. So Dean absolutely dominated that gunfight, but playing slow there. And all Scrism had to do was just run at him. That's all he's good at, so why not do it?
We're going to be seeing Prodigy on the attack now. Scrism with that OBJ once again. Hopey. Slow start, kind of like what we saw in the Hardpoint there with no kills after the first 2 rounds, trying to look for his first. He gets that nade out. Gydra working around unders as well. Scrism, he's just going to be looking out towards mid, moving towards A. We know there's going to be a player on the other side. Once again, that is Eminence. Shots ringing out. Eminence should be feeling pretty good. He knows where that player is. Scrism needs to be very, very careful because obviously a couple of players here we do have on the other side of the map. Dean looking towards a sneak towards B in case it happens. Now we go in. Scrism, he's got the backup of Gydra. He's right next to him. You can see there Eminence expecting a plant. Shots do ring out and Eminence picks up the kill. We're going to have a look here. Who's backing him up? Killer Pie right up the back with that scope. Spots one on their headshot and boom! There we go.
Nice.
Eminence gets dropped. Another one cross map. That one's a little wild, but he did hit the one to even things up. And once again, the bomb has been planted. Gydra sets the trap. Will it be sprung?
This is a nice little setup here from Gydra. I think Killer Pie needed to play a little bit more passive in that situation. Gydra picks up a kill, but he gets traded out in the back, and it's just going to be down to Hopey in a 1v2 with 15 seconds to go. Let's see what happens here. Hopey gets the read on the bomb planter, but Fake cleans him up very easily. I would have liked to seen Hopey go a little bit slower there and just sort of just peek around from a corner first instead of just sort of YOLOing into bomb. He had time to win that, and I mean, he knew what side bomb was planted on, so why not check the other side instead of making it so difficult for himself to fight that gunfight?
Dean now 4-0 and also has the Scarab and 250 away from the Trinity Rocket after only 3 rounds. all 3 of which have gone to the Chiefs, which is obviously going to be huge for later rounds.
Yeah, I'd just like to point out as well that they've got Scrism carrying bomb. I don't understand that. Scrism should be their aggressive player making kills. Put Hopi or one of the guys like Gydra on bomb carrying, basically. They should be able to clutch up and know when to plant, because I doubt Scrism has the experience in getting these bombs down.
Eminence moving out here. He's got the support of his team going for that fast plant. Decides to check the sides instead, but you can see as he spotted that other player who's going to be dropped. Oh, shaky shots from Lakey. Let's see if he can recover. He's just going to be holding the fort down behind the fences. Fate, he does pick up bomb, working back. Lakey, he does have that FTL jump ready for when he wants to use that, but as you can see, all the battling taken down. Dean is actually going to spot Killer Pie, who was working his way around. So we've got Dean and Lakey in a 2v2 versus Hopi and Gydra, and they're both sticking together here. Lakey's actually going to be wrapping around onto Gydra. Will he spot him just inside the fences? They actually don't. This is going to be crazy. Gydra, where's he going to make the move? He actually hangs out there. Lakey, he's going to be over on the van. Let's see what he can do. And look at this. It all slows down. Will they spot each other? He's just around the corner. Lakey's surely going to be spotted, and indeed he does. Gydra picks up the kill. That's going to leave Dean all alone in a 1v2, and he needs to stay alive. He's only 50 away from that Trinity rocket.
Yeah, this is really important for Dean to pick up a kill here. There's 2 players left up. There's 20 seconds left. He's absolutely not going to be able to get this plant. He just needs to work these streaks. I don't necessarily agree with him just sprinting around the map like this. I think he needs to slow things down, make sure he has gun up, and just sort of know that like he's got bomb down on that bomb site. One of his teammates would have called it out, and Gydra and the rest of the the rest of the Prodigy players are going to be set up camping that bomb.
I don't know why he's challenging here. It was lucky that it was the very last second. That was...
Yeah.
He stayed alive, Kyle, but that was an unnecessary risk.
It was so risky. Every single play, just the way he was moving around the map as well. I think this could be some nerves starting to get to the guys at Chiefs right now.
With the advantage they had, a 3-0 lead, there's no way he should be risking streaks like that. Nevertheless, he stayed alive. Let's have a look and see how Prodigy are going to attack this one. And instead of Scrism running the bomb, they must have heard you, because now it's Gydra moving towards that B plant, and the Chiefs are expecting it. Fate, he's going to be training towards that window nade, bringing out, and he does even hit some wall bangs here. No one down just yet. Lakey, again, he's going to be hiding up just inside of silos. Spots a couple of players, one including in the window. Now a wrap happening towards A. As you can see here on your mini-map, all 4 players, bottom right here for Prodigy eSports, going to be wrapping around that way, and they're already over on A.
That was a pretty big error from whoever that was from from Prodigy, that jumped out of blue. Like, he could have just walked low and not been spotted behind that fence, and basically just announced to Chiefs that, hey, we're rotating to the other bomb site.
Gydra also pushed out there while he was bomb carrier. Luckily, it is picked up by Hopi, but he's in a very aggressive position, forced into this engagement, and luckily for him, he picks up Eminence. Now we've got a 3v3. Hopi looking to plant, but Fate, he sets the trap, takes up Killer Pie. They're going to be traded out. Lakey as well is going to be looking for this defuse as Prodigy do get that plant down. Hopi, Scrism up against the lone Lakey. Lakey needs to get 2 and the defuse. Let's see what he can do. 30 seconds left. Chiefs up 3-1 so far. This is going to be a big round for Prodigy if they can hold it. Lakey just as big for him as well if he can somehow clutch this round.
No, I don't have a lot of faith in Lakey. He's been way too slow. He's sort of going way too deep. He just needs to be flying straight at these players. He just doesn't have time to fight these gunfights. I mean, hope he's going to be sitting back on the other side of the map based on where the bomb has been planted.
Giving away some free points in that round. Prodigy feeling a little bit better, and Scrism definitely feeling good as well as he cleans up Lakey at the end of that one. As you can see there, 4 kills now. Same for his teammate Gydra as he scores 3-2. And Prodigy, what was looking like a whitewash of 3-0, are now coming back in this S&D. Again, they are 1-0 in this series, and a vital series it is as winners bracket round 1. There's only going to be 3 rounds in the winners bracket in this format, this 16-team double elimination bracket. 20 teams actually if you include the open bracket teams that came through. So let's have a look here and see how this one plays out. Eminence going for the fast plant with Lakey up the back as well. Eminence actually got dropped, but not before he got the bomb down. So that's still an alright play. As you can see, these players basically trained against each other. I just want to quickly, if I may, jump over to Hopi. He's mid-map, but just the way he's routed through tunnel and then just having a look at unders, he's in an interesting position here to move out with his teammates here, Gydra and Killer Pie as well, and a 3v2 scenario versus Fate and Dean.
Yeah, Hopi's play there, he just actually jumped over the doorway and just baited both of Fate and Dean out of the bomb site into more awkward ground here. That was a really excellent play from Hope. It looks like it's going to come down to a 1v1 Hopi versus the man of Fate. This is the guy that basically dropped him, and he loses the gunfight. That's disappointing.
That is pretty disappointing indeed, but good for Chiefs to turn that around as Prodigy were just gaining their momentum. Dean and Fate getting shots on this final player and are now 2 rounds away from tying up this series.
Just then, I just noticed that Hopey contested when he was weak. I know he had to be aggressive there, but he could have waited just that couple of seconds just to get his health back to actually fight that fight effectively.
I just want to see who's picking up bomb here, and it will be Gydra once again.
Good
Killer
choice.
Pie. We're going to be following him as well. He's got that NV4. Now, this should be Gydra and Skrizzum making their move towards bomb. Shots ringing out towards mid as that's where Dean's going to be. Dean, is he getting aggressive? He's going to be getting shots out towards that player in tickets, and he does pick up the kill. That was big. Gydra still with bomb in hand, trying to make his way under bridge. His teammate Skrizzum goes down. He doesn't have the support right here. Spots one in the corner, needs to turn left immediately. Instead, he's going to cost some shots in the back. He should go down, leaving Hopey only one alive against Lakey and Dean, who both also have their rigs. Going to have a Centurion here and Lakey with that FTL jump. Still, let's have a look at Hopey and see how he plays this 1v2 scenario.
As soon as his teammate died there, Hopey just sprang into play. I think this is what he lives for, these 1v2 clutches. He's being very decisive here. I like his aggression, though he is sort of putting himself in a little bit of awkward position here, knowing that probably the Chiefs players are going to be grouped up like they should be.
This should be easy pickings for the Chiefs. They know exactly where he is, and Hopey caught against a rock and a hard place. Lakey and Dean, excellent teamwork here and great communication. As you can tell, Hopey, he could still pull off a miracle. As you can see, 20 seconds left. It is going to be very, very tough. He needs the 2 kills. Spots one, doesn't get it. He gets dropped, and now Chiefs 1 round away from winning this S&D here on Throwback.
I think Hopey's going to be a little bit frustrated with these plays. I know I've noticed that Chiefs have some pretty bad grouping. I mean, in these clutches, all you really need to do in a 2v1 is stand together and you're guaranteed to trade a kill. I mean, you're not going to be sitting in a place where you can get basically just sandwiched and spit roasted. It's just not going to happen. And I think that's what caught Hopey off guard there. They really spread out and just sort of made things awkward for him.
Eminence here once again, going to be the bomb carrier, and they make a standard push towards B. I want to watch this one from the defender's point of view. Killer Pie, shots ringing out. You're going to have Hopey here as well. Let's just watch Killer Pie and how he works this one. You're going to have, I believe, Gydra working alongside him, and here you can see, was it Killer Pie? It was actually Hopey out with this Scarab. He does get a shot, but he knows the bomb's going down, which is obviously going to be vital information. Active camo ready for Eminence, but he gets dropped. Lakey's going to be right back on statue. Fate's going to be inside tickets. Prodigy with the advantage here. Fate's got some shots ringing out as Hopey gets taken down. Gydra going to be defending this bomb area as well as Dean gets dropped. Skrizzum, Gydra, Killer Pie, they're up against Lakey and Fate from the Chiefs. They need this one to stay alive. Can Lakey close it out? He picks up one, forces a 2v2 scenario. Shots ringing out. They know exactly where he is. His teammate gets dropped. Lakey, 1v2 to clutch up the victory here against the Chiefs. Obviously ahead by 3. They can afford to lose this one. Uses the FTL, gets the defender.
He clutched it. He absolutely clutched it. What a boss usage of FTL. That was absolutely amazing.
I am dumbstruck, and just because of that one FTL play, it is going to be the Chiefs wrapping it up 6 rounds to 2. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you utilize the FTL jump.
FTL stands for faster than light, or does it mean freaking timing, Lakey?
Pretty good, Miles.
That's what I think it stands for anyway. Wow. What a way to close that one out. Game 2 goes to the Chiefs. We're all tied up 1-1 in this one. While the Hardpoint was as close as they come. S&D a little bit different, guys. Chiefs looking better when they slow down. They like that slow play.
They were in a worse position, though, when they were up against 10 Mines, and they were still able to manage to clutch the uplink. And it's only 1-1 in this series, so I'm keen to see how they progress throughout this series. But yeah, to bring us back to the search and destroy, a lot of things Chiefs did right, a lot of things that Prodigy kind of did wrong as well. So I think they kind of, not only did Chiefs play well, Prodigy fed them a couple of rounds. There was a couple of questionable movements, which Kyle, I know you could tell us more about. And yeah, I think there are some big errors that could have been easily avoided by Prodigy in some areas.
Now, guys, one thing I noticed, though, you talked about a little bit, was Skrizzum running the bomb. Now, we had seen in pretty much every series so far, Gydra being the main bomb runner for Prodigy and being the shot caller there. Do you think that was a big mistake in those opening rounds, and do you think that was part of what cost them those rounds?
Miles, yeah, that was just huge. What a huge flaw. Like, I basically brought Hopey up playing S&D with myself, and he watched me carry bomb for a good, what, 2 or 3 years? He should be the one carrying bomb. He knows how to plant that. And like we watched Scrism, basically he would push towards the bomb site and just sort of contest things in the air without really that much support. And I think that's really what lost him there. He just doesn't know when to plant bomb, but Hopi should know that, and that's what he should be doing.
Yeah, it's interesting you say Scrism's such an aggressive player. We saw him playing there, he's running the reactive armor, so he's typically a player that gets in dirty and likes to get those kills, so possibly a big fumble on the side of Prodigy. Either way, what a fantastic change of pace to this series. The Chiefs now tied this one up. A couple of mistakes here and then, and this was the final moment. What a spectacular use of FTL. Freaking timing, Lakey. That's it, man. I'm down. I want to get a t-shirt made. Freaking timing, Lakey.
Freaking timing. I'd buy that shirt.
Oh, that dude. Look at that face. He's so cool about that. He was like, yeah, boys, no worries. I got the bomb carrier. Yeah, no worries, man. No defuse. Wow. What an amazing way to continue this series. We've got an uplink coming up next. I still have to kind of compose myself, boys. It's been quite something here on the desk with you guys. Uplink, though, I mean, Frost is a tricky map, to say the least, for most of these teams. With the way that this series is ebbing and flowing, both teams have had their respective victories. They've been spectacular in their own right. How do we go into Uplink, and what do you feel like they're going to bring to the table here, Carl?
Well, this is a sort of mirror match of what we saw with Prodigy versus TM. I mean, that first map, versus TM, Prodigy only barely lost that, but what was it, like 6 points? And then the S&D was pretty rough, much like this one was. And then they came back and they absolutely decimated TM and then uplink Frost. And it was Frost as well. They had full map control off the break, and for basically about 7 minutes, they went unanswered, basically to TM. So I've got full faith in Prodigy to bring things back this next map.
I know that Eminence specifically is an excellent uplink player, though, as is the rest of the Chiefs. Now, as they go up against this newly constructed Prodigy lineup, I think it might be a challenge, but as I've talked to him up before, Gydra and indeed the rest of the squad, I really think that there's a lot of uplink talent over on that squad, and they clutched it up against Tainted Minds. Everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people say Tainted Minds are a stronger squad than Chiefs, arguable at this stage. But if they could take one away against Tainted Minds, I think Prodigy are looking good here against the Chiefs as well.
I don't think we can ask for much more if we can see a Game 4, which is going to be another hard point, which frankly was as close as they come, and we can get a Game 5 out of this one. Boy, what a story that would be. On your screen, guys, that's Lakey, the man who literally saved the universe with his FTL jump there in that last one. I'm sure that play will be on competitive comp Reddit. Players will be looking at that one going, cool, so that's how you use FTL. That's a great way to use that one. Hopi there, chatting to the players, shot calling, boys. I mean, the way that Hopi played on the Chiefs, now he was a shot caller for his team. He was the guy playing from the top down, making decisions for the boys. Do you feel like he's doing exactly the same thing now for Prodigy?
I did have a chat with him, and I think, look, obviously right then and there, yes, that's what he's doing. He's got a lot of sort of experience in these clutch moments where you absolutely have to win this next map. But, I mean, he's sort of relinquished his role as captain here, and he's just sort of focusing on himself, and we've seen that. Probably not so much in the S&D. I think he had a little bit of a rough KD, but basically played pretty solid in the hardpoint, and I'm expecting him to play well in another respawn.
Whether as a shot caller or not, Hopi's always going to be a great addition to a squad, especially when he's fired up and hungry for the win here. And Kyle, there's never a time that a player is more determined than when they're dropped by a team. And especially when you go up against that team on the CWL main stage, there's no other kind of motivation to get a W.
Oh, definitely not. We watched that little 1v1 there between Fate and Hopi, and I know they've got a lot of history both together and against each other. So I think Hopi's going to definitely want some serious vengeance coming into this Frost.
So keen to see how this one is going to unfold. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the winners bracket, and it's the championship bracket as well. Things are finally underway as winners bracket round 1. And what a way to have it. Chiefs vs Prodigy. We're 1-1 in the series, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Once again, thank you for tuning in. It is brought to you by PlayStation 4, with thanks as well to the guys over at Astro and ViewSonic for supporting us and helping us put this event together. We're live from the ESL studio in, I'd usually say sunny Sydney, but it's been pretty horrid weather over the last couple of days. But luckily, we're all warm and cozy in here as we're checking out some awesome Call of Duty action as Chiefs vs Prodigy are about to hit their uplink. And there was your man on a mission, Lakey, there. And what a mission it was. I love how he played it, just completely ignored the second player, used the FTL jump to get right in there, take down the bomb carrier, so there was no time left for Prodigy to do anything.
Well, I mean, he made the exact right play. I would have expected he would have expected the defensive player to be sitting on the other side of the bridge to be able to properly cut his teammate. So I think if that Prodigy player was actually behind, properly covering the bomb site, he would have been able to see top, he would have been able to see bottom of the bridge, and probably would have saved that from happening. But I mean, it forced Lakey to basically clutch up hard, and he did.
Now onto this uplink, as we talked about, it's on Frost. Kyle, we've had the pleasure of seeing both of these teams play on this map and game time, and I know both of them can play it very, very well. As I've already discussed, Prodigy able to take the win on this. I believe it was a 6-4, if my memory serves correct, against Tainted Minds. How do you think this one's going to go? In which way? If you just had to pick a team, are you feeling Prodigy, or do you think the Chiefs are going to hold out here?
Look, I'm really confident in Prodigy. They played this map flawlessly. I think if they can break out hard like they did before and get a nice aggressive push through middle and get that early 1 or 2 points down, I think they're definitely a shoo-in for this victory.
Erad busted out for Hopi at the beginning of this one. Obviously has the ability to be this aggressive sub player, as we always love to see. The meta of Infinite Warfare obviously is K-Bar and NV4, and it's always great when you can get this Erad out. And he picked up a nice long range kill before being dropped there as well by Lakey. Gydra moving forward for the Prodigy lineup. The drone is still yet to move. Both teams just vying and jockeying for position on the map.
Yeah, I think Hope did an excellent job of pushing up early. All he had to have was his teammates actually just pick up 1 or 2 kills and be able to pass that ball straight up to him. And that would have been a 1 point straight away like we saw against TM.
Now this is a great push up here by Hope. There's going to be one player in front. It's Fate. The throw didn't get to go out. Nade's coming in. Fate's going to throw it out for the reset. Gydra was the only one live there for a moment for Prodigy. He's just desperately trying to stay alive and hold on to it so Chiefs can't respond and wait for his team to come up. Again,
it's a story of just resetting ball when you have kills. There was absolutely no reason for Fate to do that. I mean, I suppose there could have been one Prodigy player there, but it was pretty obvious that there was no one else. He could have just run that ball straight up the thing, straight up through ship, and basically just got a point.
I cannot wait to see how this map's going to unfold. There's been a lot of action already. Prodigy, they just lost the S&D, looking to get a W here, and there is a lot of talk on main stage. Let's listen to the fire itself coming out of Prodigy.
One shot underpass.
That's rolled away.
I'm just. Wait, wall run middle.
Three there.
Cut left.
Alright, ball one shot, going cliff side. I'm pretty sure it's close, fade dead. One here. Tag, Lakey, one shot. This is there.
Yeah, two.
Trouble.
Yeah, two pushing up. Pre-aim.
They could go blue here, I'm gonna back up. I need ice. And blue,
Spawning out.
One in blue. Right here.
Lakey's bottom. Nice.
Yeah, left dog up. Nice.
Ah, come on, Fate!
That's ready.
Nice, Jay. Good shot.
I'm gonna throw it down.
We just stay here. I'm gonna
throw me tag. Rip dead.
Nice. I'm wall running through middle.
He backed up.
Watch crates.
Pinch the middle. Wall's on left side. Flank crates.
Go crates.
One more
Underpass. Fate's underpass.
Yeah, he's gonna kill me.
Two underpass. Both of them.
Wait.
Safe one.
Oh, base give me Lakey. Lakey's crates.
Yeah, two crates. Oh, wall on high, guys.
Yeah,
I need help right side, Might need help right
Yeah,
side.
I'm coming run.
Yeah, go around wall.
Go on.
Might get you one day.
hit Warren, I'm heading for one.
Yeah,
One.
he got me.
Hey,
One blue.
You're big here, guys.
Play ball. Tag. Nice.
Hey, ice.
Nice.
Two. He threw it cliff side.
Hey, it's PCs.
Go back to base.
Watching PC.
Yeah, one's gonna try and wrap here.
Yeah, I'm nading
I
ice.
spawn PCs.
Yo, he just base tag. Team one shot. No base.
Hey, Lakey weak.
I got two base. One
go on.
One was blue. One to blue. Blue might flank you.
Stay alive here, Ryan.
Yeah,
Blue, you guys.
Yeah, one's flying Ryan. Head gun.
Dozer. I'm playing.
Ice.
Two.
Hey,
Red. Let's go.
Let's go fast.
Yo, they're gonna spawn on base.
Yeah, we have to play away. Maybe 1 point.
You wanna go one? Let's go. Up close.
Hey, crate.
We're gonna stay together. Carry the wall. Nice.
Crates.
Today.
That was some intense communication coming out of Prodigy, and you can see great teamwork as well, but it actually fell apart a little bit as Chiefs were able to get in for 2 points. Prodigy slaying Mad Kyle, it just couldn't come together for them though.
Look, what I noticed there in their comms, there's a little bit of shakiness to their voices, and it's showing in their composure. They aren't quite playing as tightly as they could have been. Hopi, right then, they had 4 down, they knew they were going to be spawning their base, and Hopi saw one guy in front of him, and he was the first person up with ball, didn't let any lead blockers push, and he just got taken out easily when that could have been easy points and full map control again for the team of Prodigy.
Is this pressure or communication? Because their comms seemed on point.
They were on point, but yet again, they're not calling names, which is so important to know who's on the map and who's where, so you can keep track of the enemy team and be able to push up effectively. I'm a little bit disappointed. Hope he should know better than that from our time with Benno.
Hopey is screaming. He is dumb lit, as the young'uns say these days. Killer Pie 10-9 as well. Not too bad. However, the only score that counts is the Uplink scoreboard, and currently it's 2-1 with Chiefs in front. Let's check out Fate. He's got an E-Rad of his own. He's going to take it to his grave as he gets dropped. Lakey, the last defender alive as that drone's pushing up. Scrism looking to make it work here. He's got the support of his teammates eventually backing him up. Hope he's got it in hand. Forced to throw forward. He's got the E-Rad out. That stun was going to be huge. Had to turn around. He does get the turn on that one player. Killer Pie last alive. Goes for one. Goes for two. Unfortunately, not going to get it. Last few seconds of the half. We're going to be finishing at 2-1. Kyle, look, they had so many opportunities, and sure, a few little hiccups here, but what I want to say is credit where credit is due. The Chiefs and their defense clutched up, especially with that intercept towards the end as well.
Oh, yeah.
What they needed to do, they got done.
Yeah, basically. I think Chiefs played pretty solidly on the rotations. They managed to stack up pretty nice and tight to prevent the team of Prodigy from basically just utilizing that ball armor and just sort of diving out and hit a one. Because it looked like Prodigy were going for that, and their lead blockers were a little bit confused, a little bit slow, and didn't quite capitalize on that ground.
Eminence moving straight out onto the outside of the map. There is going to be one player on the wall run. It's going to be Scrism. Scrism shots out before he falls off the mat. Gydra dropped as well. Hopey once again rocking the E-Rad, as we'll see for pretty much the rest of the map. He's taken down. Killer Pie last alive, saving something for the team. And he is going to be picking up one kill. Follows it up with another as well. There's some nice shots. And that's all down for Chiefs. Prodigy with the opportunity to move forward. Gydra making a run. Obviously, I want to see the player on the assault. It's Killer Pie running point for the squad. Turns, that's COD timing definition right there as he gets taken down. Hopey and Scrism, now just Hopey left alive with this E-Rad. Shots ringing out. It was a tough spot for Hopey. That COD timing just ruined that push.
I know, that was really rough there. I like what Hopey did. He sort of played a little bit more passively. I think that was the right play. I think though, he could have just camped that just a little bit longer and forced basically the Chiefs team to slow down this push. But it's not going to matter. Ball got reset, and it's now a new fight in middle with Prodigy in control.
So much talk about Prodigy. We need to get it onto the Chiefs because their defense has been amazing. I really feel that Prodigy have been able to come together with their team shot a lot better than the Chiefs until it matters. Then we see Prodigy 3 down. We see Chiefs defense being awesome. All sorts of stuff coming out from them. And don't forget, they still have the lead. Eminence throwing this forward, getting kills as well. And tries to kneecap one, follows it up with more. Lakey's got support. This is at least one. Make it two. Chiefs 4-1 in the lead.
Right then and there, we saw Hopey was first up, but instead of just chilling out and playing slow, he just dives out and contests 4 people. Like, why do that, Hopey? You should be more composed like that. I'm disappointed.
With Chiefs in the lead and about to further it by another 2. Let's go to where Astro listen in and the joyous calls from the Chiefs.
2, crates, no one,
Let's
might be.
I need help.
I gotta come, I got a small trap. I'm very close to camera.
This one, stay left, Reef.
Oh, no, Ryan got me. Yeah, I think he's going crates. I almost have my camo, by the way.
One crate, one crate.
Robots.
Hopes one shot. Two crates.
I'm aiming crates. Wait, they could flank us easily. Wait, let's flank them here.
Go left. Go.
Scrism's weak there, he's one shot crates.
I'm going us.
Mid head. Scrism, one shot in front of you.
Yeah, you got me.
Nice try.
There's 2 in mid. I push up hard.
Nice.
One's behind the box. Nice.
One more mid.
Nice.
Nice.
That's 3. Come on, 1 kill off camera.
Crate's dead.
Coophead's overdrive as well. Yeah. I'll watch your hard left.
Don't, Scrism, watch out. He's
I'm overdriving right.
There's 2 crates. They got me.
Crates door.
Nice,
good one.
Good work, boys.
Alright, get one more kill. I got camo, yeah? They could be in mid.
I'm coming mid. They kind of push up ring. Nice, big kill, man. Mid head headshot.
Oh, wait, 2 on sub.
Right, Jack. Go close, Dad.
Jack right,
Push back. He's gonna be crate alley on you. That's 2.
Reslink.
3 there. Scrism dead. They alive, Reef.
Nice. Yeah, he put me on sub. He's there, 2 on crates.
Ryan's weak mid.
I'm gonna flank.
Keep flying. Keep talking, guys.
Oh yeah, I'm coming to us.
I got mid.
I'll push you. Nice, then
We got left.
I'm right. Jack, mid.
The other ball.
Front blue.
That's last guy.
Front blue.
Let's
Come
go.
on.
He's got camo.
Let's push up left.
I'm pushing left hard.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm in a kinetic.
Alright, you can nuke then.
One's crates. Mid, coming back. I can get him. Go. Crates.
I got him. I came out too.
I'm slaying. You got me, he's tagged, Jack in mid.
No, he
Yeah,
fucked
lucky.
shot me out, Macame.
They're going left on mid.
I pushed in left, yeah.
I'm going into ship. Yeah, I'm going left as well.
Hope you could have come out soon.
They could wrap it.
I'm watching ice.
I'm alright. One nice, two nice, maybe. They're going harder.
Oh, dude, two push me. Both weak, one shot.
Last guy.
No one there.
Last guy.
Nice, good stop.
I'm gonna go left. Just hold it.
Yeah,
for a
good
bit.
stop.
I'm gonna
Just
stop.
one.
And that was a huge push by Prodigy at the end, but great communication from the Chiefs and an awesome defense once again. They're now in front 7-1, and you can tell from the composure in their voice, they know this map is all but theirs.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. I think this huge deficit here is just all stemmed down to Hopey just suiciding in middle without any support. He's basically just allowed them to get 2 free dunks and make this win just absolutely unattainable.
Lakey goes down, but not before getting another point on the board. They know the map is done. 8-1, the score so far. Not done yet. Prodigy trying to save face. And you can see by the KDs, there's been a couple of stellar performances, particularly Fate, 30 and 22. But looking across the board, the KDs don't match up with the scoreboard for Uplink. 8-1, Chiefs in the lead, and it just shows converting the kills into points is just better done by the Chiefs.
Yeah, definitely. It's just that one little tiny error which cost him everything. I'd like to see Scrism probably pick up his game a little bit more. He's only 26 and 25 to finish out that map. Game's going to end 8-1. Prodigy unfortunately losing that. How frustrating.
Prodigy going up in the series 2-1 as they take down Uplink 8-1 in the final score. Well, boys, Chiefs just defensively too sound, or was the offensive capabilities of Prodigy just not quite there? Carl, what do you think?
I think Chiefs had some pretty solid rotations. They were playing like the old school CTF back in your boots on the ground games. They were rotating nicely back to their portal, grouping up pretty tight on the front line and making sure they had some good cover to basically contest off anyone from Prodigy that was pushing them. But I think a lot of that came down to Prodigy's own errors.
Prodigy just didn't seem, as tight in that one, you'd say. When we went to listen in, sure, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of fire in the belly, but if they don't bring it together, like you were saying halfway through, or following up the listening, Kyle, that they weren't really specific with their call-outs. It seemed like a little bit of mayhem going on, to be fair.
Here's a couple of replays from that game, guys. Uplink was a big win for the Chiefs. Maybe a surprise to some, but certainly not to the boys in blue there. Hopey and co doing the best they can, but falling ever so short. Guys, I mean, we saw a couple of payload plays coming out. Eminence had a failed camouflage play, which didn't really pay off for them. Is there anything you want to say, I mean, probably particularly you, Carl, about like how the payloads were utilized? Were there any major fumbles? Was there anything you'd like to see different?
Yeah, Eminence popped his camo pretty early. I mean, he sort of snuck past a couple of players, but then when he got to an actual fight, which would have been the last player at the back line, he just sort of just whiffed it, just stood there, was like, he's shooting at me, what do I do? Instead of just going straight for the beatdown or just avoiding him, he just stood there and ate bullets.
You keep calling it decisive plays, that's clearly sadly not a decisive play. Now, speaking of being decisive, the Prodigy eSports, they there was a lot of times where they were looking so good. Was that part of the indecision in their gameplay that was really hindering them?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I talked about Hopey in the SMD, just picking the right time to do things. Like as soon as something would happen, he would just rotate out and make his play and try to clutch up. But he didn't do that in this series. He just sort of YOLO'd on his own several times, both when he had support and when he didn't have any support at all.
Now, Carl, you said several times throughout that series, and I got a tally of at least 2, where you said, Hopey's suicide out in the mid-map, and then you say, I'm disappointed, in a very stern voice. I know you mean it. I know it's coming
Kyle
from the heart.
Kyle is everyone's dad.
I know, and Dad, Papa Valsider really came out during this game, because in the first game, you were very excited, and this one, God, it's just getting your goat now. I can tell.
Well, I've known Hopey for such a long time, and he's always been chasing that first place. He's always been second back in previous titles and things like that, but he's never nailed that first place. So I want to see him succeed, man. Like he's just not done that here in COD at all.
Yeah, hard to keep that bias at bay, I can tell, but it's what makes this beautiful. It's the human side of COD that we love.
It is. And really, aren't we all winners, Miles?
Oh, well,
no.
Well,
no is the answer.
It's hard to... you got to try and find the sort of the happy medium where it's like, well, I came to play and I tried my best. But, guys, look, Chiefs, defensive lineup means so solid. We saw a couple of attempts on goal. I mean, look at this. This highlight reel doesn't end, right? Has this still going? It's just basically a replay of the entire game. It was just so full of magic. I mean, Chiefs' defensive plays were out of this world. Like, they were watertight at times. Nothing got through, and if anything was getting through, you know, they reacted very, very well to it. How do you, I mean, do you see, let's try to sort of hypothetically compare them up against another team, you know, like Mindfreak, who offensively is so, so strong. You know, where do you weigh the Chiefs in the sort of region uplink-wise?
Uplink-wise, Mindfreak have always dominated in their uplinks, and I think that it's a very hard comparison to make without seeing them directly go against each other. I think definitely that they can make a run against Mindfreak. It would be very hard for me to call, though, just given the experience of what we've seen from both teams in the scene.
Well, Josh, we saw a lot of times that Chiefs were on the back foot and sort of rotating their base. And like looking at the KDs, they had more kills, but a lot of those kills were in their own base and not necessarily middle map where the fight needs to happen. And Mindfreak will just thrive off that. They'll just leave them in their base the entire time, keep them spawn trapped, and just keep relaying balls up through middle.
Put it this way, I think that when Chiefs really cemented their victory at the end of that, I think it was because Prodigy kind of let them win. At the beginning, there was so much pressure from Prodigy that Chiefs had to hold off. I think Chiefs only just held on for a lot of those defenses, and if they were up against the likes of Mindfreak, I don't think that defense would have held.
Well, guys, you've heard it here. It's been a screamer of a series so far. We're going to take a very quick break, and after that, we're going to give you Game 4